Welcome to BaldHeaded Metal, guys. Welcome back to another NEMOPHILA reaction. Looks like they have re-released one of their first songs, I believe, Dissension, the US version. I'm guessing a new music video. I think it's a nice way for me to do this reaction because it's one of the first reactions I did on this channel. So it's going to be a nice way to come back to this band because I remember when I first reacted to this band, I was a little bit unimpressed. And as the time went on and you guys molded me to different things, I kind of relaxed a little bit and understood what the band was all about and what it kind of presented itself as, and started quite enjoying NEMOPHILA more so than a lot of the other Japanese bands you guys have shown me on this channel. Not that one is better than the other, just preference-wise. So I thought it'd be a nice circle around, kind of, coming back around, check it out now with new eyes, with a fresh sound, and see how I feel about it. Those who are new to this channel, I do voice my opinion, but I do it more in the case of talking about how I feel about the music rather than outright criticism of a particular artist, because I think it makes it for a more interesting reaction. If you enjoy that kind of reaction, guys, make sure to subscribe down below for more and give me your requests for other bands you'd like to see on this channel. That being said, let's see what we got. It's been a long time since I've heard it. It sounds like they've added some layers with the guitar a little bit. And it's also a funny feeling of listening to a song you weren't impressed by before and then listening to it again. For some reason you like it because your perspective shifts and changes. That's happened to me many times with bands like Death, with bands like Iron Maiden, actually. I didn't like at first. Megadeth took me a long time to get into as when I was younger. Even remembering that Sepultura at one point was like the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, and now it's like, oh, it's something I just enjoy.
Tell me what you think in your heart right now. I will say goodbye to helpless days. Why do you pretend professing after you are gone? You need to know my pain. You're the ones we hate, so you don't have to care. I'm always because it's power.
You know, this particular song to me has a lot of baby metal signs of like the way they kind of write the music. This idea of kind of very catchy choruses that are more, more subdued and softer to these very kind of heavy parts. Only the difference is, from what I understand, even at that point, I think NEMOPHILA was still writing their music. I enjoy this, and again, I think it's what I said the first time. I like her now as a vocalist. I've seen the breadth of what she can do. I don't particularly like her screeching vocals here. I like her singing vocals more because I think she has a nice voice. And I like the metal part, but the chorus part, it's something that I'm just not haven't gotten my head around. This idea of almost genre flipping in choruses. It's always been a big problem for me. My brother and I we're that picky sometimes, Like we'll listen to a song and we'll like everything about it except this like blast beast moment kind of just didn't do it for me. And that'll be the difference between me having a song that I just absolutely love because I love listening to it from beginning to the end, and one that there's parts in it that are like, oh, okay, when is it over? Um, Maybe we're just being too picky. Maybe it's just the way we feel. We have the right to feel the way we do. Either way, I thought it was kind of interesting to know that I 100% more enjoyed the song way more than I did the first time.
Tell me what you think in your heart right now. Even the leader kindness could heal the pain. And that's why this kindness could heal my wounded heart. Truly, did you forget that too? It's escalates to let just right out. You're the love closest but before.
That I really like when they're doing that heavy part and them as a group doing the singing. Solos, by the way, I sound really good. I don't know if it's also partially because I think the first time I listened to it was a live production, right? And this is kind of more refined. Whatever it is, it's a much more fun time for me checking this out this time around. And the song is basically over. Um, yeah, NEMOPHILA is, I think, the reason I like this band more than Love Bites. Well, Love Bites is another song of a band that I really like. I just Love Bites. The one thing I haven't connected with to this point is the vocals. There's times I really like her vocals, but I would say about 70% of the time is just not my jam. Here, for the most part, almost always they come up, especially with their recent material, in such a way to infuse the poppy stuff with the heavy stuff in such a way that doesn't bother me. And actually, I enjoy the way they fuse it and kind of get impressed by, wow, that's a nice way to blend and fuse things. Whereas there's been times in Bandmade, there's more of a half of the time it's just utmost respect to what they're doing. But half of the time it's like I respect it, but I wouldn't listen to it again. Personally speaking. And then there's things like Pale Dusk, which is just weird, too weird for me. I don't think I just like that style. I would love to hear from you guys as well. Kind of, have you ever had the experience when you listen to something and you just don't get it, and it after a certain amount of time you hear that same thing and you kind of go, how did I not like it the first time around? Like, what was wrong with me? And guys, if you also want to support the channel, check out my Patreon down below if you like to, and put in your request there as well. And guys, also make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there and keep it metal.